It's tier list time. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and my reasons for not doing this, I just haven't been playing PvP as much. And if I'm not playing PvP, I'm not the right person to assess. But today, we're back with a meta tier list, but we're going to be doing it different. It's not a top 10, and honestly, any meta tier list that isn't a top 10 is better than a top 10. I've seen a lot of people do this kind. It's the element kind, and in each role for the element, you list them in order what characters are best. We've got 7 in each role, so I thought I'd give it my own try. So here's the tier list. We've got blue, we've got green, we got purple, we got yellow, and we got red. All the elements there, and in each row, we've got 7 units that are taking up the spaces. For some elements, this was harder to do than with other elements, but I will give each element a segment, so there's going to be 5 segments, and I'll just speak on some of the characters, but mainly the top 1 or 2 would get more shine than everything else in the list. This also gives a better representation of what characters you can use, because just the top 10, it could just be one element filling up the whole top 10. But if you have some variety here, you can build teams around everything, which is just better for everyone, because then people have a better perspective on who they can and can't use. Let's start with the blue. I thought it'd be a nice touch to change my colors too with the video. I don't know though. Alright, so we got the blue section here. It should be a no-brainer that Trunks and Gohan are the best blue in the game. I know they're also purple, but the way I've done it for tag units is that if the first half of the unit is blue, then I'm gonna call them blue. But also because with Gohan and Trunks, after the succession, they lock in with blue. So 2/3 of them is blue. This unit here is crazy. The Misenko post-transform is enough to clear everything on this list in terms of the blues. I kid you not, it's scary. But the foundation of Future right now needs that second life. They run off second lives, but the succession layer is different from an endurance layer, which gives it way more praise while having offensive powers. Ultra Turles fits that same box as Gohan and Trunks. That second life, that's not just an endurance layer that you can break through. Obviously, we're talking about blues here, but because Ultra Cell's in the game, if you just have endurance, you can get broken down real quick. You know, Cell's permanently nullifying endurance with the rest of the androids. So you're gonna need a bit more, and that pure second life like we have with Succession, Revival, and Comeback gives you way more stock. Now we have MVP 17, who's a great option for Ultra Cell, works together as teammates, but people have just been putting MVP 17 everywhere because his utility is amazing, just straight gorgeous. I'm talking about him like he's a babe, but this guy's return is phenomenal. But yeah, we're moving along, and I just want to talk about Sword of Hope Trunks. People really underrate this guy. This guy's being used a lot. He's really good, and he's that layer that everybody will have because he's been in the game for so long. Naturally, with his Plat Zenkai, this guy's that extra layer that you could have on Future if you don't have any other blue option, but you want to run a blue option. And then the rest is really just picks that I thought were nice. So with Vegito, it's his Rising Rush, but his healing is very important to get around Beast Gohan, especially post-transform. I just rush, and he farms Dragon Balls like no tomorrow. So then I'll just farm more Dragon Balls, one off Transform, one off Main Ability, and then the Rising Rush, the second one's gonna go through. USG, people just stopped using him, but he's actually really good with his Plat, does good damage, and he has healing capabilities. He can also nullify endurance quite consistently. And then we got Bardock and Goku just because they have indestructible. Now we're going into the green section. Honestly, the green is stacked, and I had to pick and choose very harshly. Now we got Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. He's just annoying to deal with. He's an infinite combo monster. The combo potential in this guy is jarring. It gets my brain in a spin cycle because the minute he touches the field, I'm going to see the most boring gameplay ever, but it's the most efficient destructive power that probably exists in the game. Just so problematic to deal with, which is why he's the best green in the game. I don't feel like it's a hot take. Then we got God Goku. People don't really respect him for some reason, but he's scary. The AoE block, he has an explosive green himself. Because of his Plat, he's now insane with his buff cancellation, which is nice. And he does insane damage. His blue card will slam you. His ultimate arts, oh my god, you have to be careful. You really have to be careful fighting God Goku. And he's on God Ki, so his team options are just really nice. We got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Now, I'm thinking of making him interchangeable with Vegeta or Blue, but for now, we'll keep Gohan in front. The reason I have Gohan in front is because I feel like his match with Ultra Cell, putting those two guys together, is a problem. And 1v3, as a last stand unit, I might take Ultra Gohan over every option in the green. I'm not kidding. So that extra layer of, yeah, I got this even though I'm losing with Gohan makes it nice, but the anti-blast, it's essentially the new gen blast armor, you know. Blast armor you can get through everything, but anti-blast, nothing can get through you. And I think that's really nice. Now, Vegeta Blue, the reason why he's interchangeable, even though his value has gone down because he's not able to really counter anything. G4 is not as common, and Ultra Margin Vegeta is on decline, even though he's still very valuable. With Vegito, his combo potential is still high. You can rely on him for damage as well. He cancels buffs even though he doesn't have survivability. But I feel like survivability is a big playing card, which is why I've got him 1 down. But if somebody said he was in front of Gohan, I could see why. And then on top of that, his team is really his saving grace. Running him on Future, that's a big plus. Blast type, that works super well with Ultra Cell, who's also a range type blast type. So that's nice. And then with the last 3, I'd say these 2 are also interchangeable. I feel with Rose, people are just not using him, but he's really nice. And I would say that he's troubled me more than Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. The damage output from Rose is actually pretty much more than Vegeta from my experience, because most people will just have Rose high stars because he's an old character. On top of that, the cover no is really nice, and then he's gonna ult you a lot. So that comes in handy, but I could easily see someone taking Vegeta. I just feel like Vegeta is very inconsistent, which hurts him in terms of how I value him. And then we got Kid Goku. Now, maybe he should go up. Some people might say that. I call him the strongest. Simply, he's an efficient killer. Green card, get the cover no, do strike damage. Card draw speed, strike damage. Damage, blue card. He's just working. He just works very simply. I would say he's actually plain, similar to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. The only difference is him using the power pole is fun. He looks fun when he's doing it. So I give him the grace over Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I went through every element there, every character. I didn't need to do that, but I kind of felt like it because the greens were the most stacked thing ever. It's the tightest element. It could easily be swappable in places. People are going to disagree with the greens for sure. All right, now we're locking in with purple, and for some reason, having Super Saiyan Goku first, it feels controversial to me. I don't know. I feel like defensively, he's such a liability, but on the offensive end, he gives you free priorities if you're not an idiot. You get your Vanish, you get your Explosive Green. He can even snipe a lot of greens, which are very valuable because of his lock-in ult. So as long as you're using him with a brain cell, I think you're fine. But on the defensive end, he's really unpredictable. You have to be careful, especially with the yellows in the game that exist. You have to be careful. Tamagami 3, defensive menace. Defensive menace, man. Hall of Fame brick wall. Just super nice and reliable on the Diamond team, but you could also use him with weapon wielders. I don't think I need to talk more about him. It's really just healing, defensive capabilities, tanking, same thing. You get it. We got Cell here. He's really tanking and damage. He works with a lot of androids, but he also has the benefit of being future. So it's a 2-in-1 for him. I feel like because of his team options, he's being brought up, but I just don't like the way his kit works. It's not that he's necessarily bad. He's actually quite valuable. He doesn't have any survivability, but he does do well offensively and defensively, and that's just based on him getting the upgrade that he needed. So for him, it's more stats than kit, but those stats and the team he's on are enough for me to have him over Ultimate Gohan. Now, Ultimate Gohan, you know, that layer there with endurance and buff cancellation, it's just really safe. You can leader slot him alongside a lot of the OP characters that we have, and you can get a good combination. People have been bringing back Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, so using Ultimate Gohan is also not insane. But I might think of swapping him with G4. Now, people are bringing back G4 in the same conversation as all these purples. They get value, but G4 specifically is coming back because of Ultra Cell. People find that with Ultra Cell, because he can ult B straight away off the cover, because his ultimate gives him that Goku Black Rose cover, bringing G4 means that the only way, you know, you can save yourself is using G4's counter, and G4's counter is insane to this day. It's the main thing that I prop when I talk about G4 nowadays. I feel like everything else is a liability, but building him defensively so he can heal and use all 3 of his counters keeps you in the game longer. He can do damage with his ultimate, but it's not the main reason you're using him. Then these other 2 are just like extra options on team. I'm not even going to talk about Vegeta and Blue Bros, but they're just there to fill in the spaces. I feel like a lot of the purples were a liability, but these guys do damage and do support their team well. I was thinking of putting the 1% 18. Let me know what you think about that. Now we've got the yellows, and if we look at all of the roles, I think yellow is overall the weakest element. However, their top 2 is looking real nice. So we got Beast Gohan and Ultra Margin Vegeta. Gonna start with Beast Gohan. His special beam cannon all day. His combo breaking is insane and his counter is nice. What else do you want, man? That's all you need. You know, he's a damage monster too, and he fits on a lot of good teams. No layers needed. He's Beast Gohan. I would say the most recent Ultra, we got Cell. You might want to say in general, yellow's values have decreased, which is why it's looking weak, but the units just aren't up to par in comparison to the other elements, in my opinion. I think we're going to need more good yellows. but I kind of don't want that based on how good Ultra Margin Vegeta was and how long he was in the game was for, as a meta priority. Anyways, we got Ultra Margin Vegeta 2. Just having the buff cancellation and endurance is really nice, but I feel Cell has really shut him down. Also, the fact that you can rush him and nullify endurance with Cell, but also other characters that get endurance nullification. It's just a super nice touch in terms of bringing him downhill. That's why he's lost value, but as a yellow, he's still top 2, you know. Having all those capabilities, lock-in, ult, endurance, explosive green, the counter itself when you do blast, it's all just great in the mix. Rose here, his stock is so high right now. I think he's so underrated. On Future, he got Hall of Fame brick wall, man. You can't break through him. You just can't. Future is already super defensively great, but him having endurance, the combo break, even though it could have been better in regards to his gauge, he heals quite a bit and he can do damage himself. It's just super nice layer to have. I honestly respect it. At the time, people didn't see the vision, but now, especially with Ultra Cell getting the ultimate that has Goku Black Rose's cover null, people can see that Goku Black Rose's cover null has some stock in it. So I'm putting him as the 3rd best yellow in the game. Now with Q and GB, I personally got GB, but I use GB a lot, so I might be a little biased here. But I feel like Q just isn't that valuable and his only team is Daima. You know, he does do good work. He can vanish consistently, the paralyze is nice, and he'll do damage here and there. But I found just to be more successful with Tamagami 3, Goku Mini, and the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. In terms of people I've seen use the team, you know, even if I'm not even using the Vegeta, I use the Goku Mini here, the green one, and I just get a lot of value out of that. So for them two, they're interchangeable. And then the last 2 slots, they're really just placeholders because I felt there was nobody else. We got the 1% 18, sorry, and Triku. Triku's phased out, but the 1% 18 people just use her to get the endurance nullification because they run MVP 17. And we've got the last category, which is red. Should be self-explanatory for the most part. Ultra Cell holding the #1 spot. He's the newest addition to the game. Well, he's not, but he's the nicest newest addition to the game. Ultra Cell, man, with the endurance nullification permanently. Hey, man, he's nice. I like his ultimate arts. The arts action does so much damage. I'm not gonna say he's no G4 in his prime, you know. When you get the arts action, you're meant to one-shot everybody. But he does one-shot, I'd say 90% of the time. The meta is just a lot stronger now, so he doesn't seem as oppressive as the other 2 arts action guys. In general, he's got amazing teams. Future and Androids are so stacked right now. It's unbelievable. And his element with the time that he dropped is just perfect. He has the best scenario to make him powerful, and all round makes him the best red. Next, we got Trunks. Now I feel like Trunks is very interchangeable with Fusion Zamasu, but I feel like it depends on you. If you have a 14-star Trunks, it's more worthwhile than using a merged Zamasu that is even 9 stars because he has endurance, which is just more valuable all in all. The combo breaking is insane as well. So Zamasu, you can build him defensively, but you can also do that with Trunks too. So they kind of fit the same role on the team. You might want to argue that Zamasu does more damage, which I would say he does, but the defenses are going to win you games. Playing defensively is less risky in general, so more people are going to take Trunks. But if somebody said Zamasu is better than Trunks, hey, I'm not against that in the slightest. I just wanted to emphasize that. And then next I got Super Saiyan Goku Mini. The only reason he's not higher is because defensively he's a liability. The only place he's safe is a rush, and it's not worthwhile building him defensively because his main intention is to snipe with his blue card. When his gauge fills, he gets the lock-in. And if you're not utilizing that at his maximum capability, then you just miss out. He also is very nice with his ultimate because he's able to hit Beast Gohan, and Beast Gohan can't counter long-range ultimates. So I think that's just a nice plus as well. And then Gotenks, just having that, you know, endurance, combo potential. Super 17 in the same boat. In fact, I'm actually gonna move Super 17 in front just off the stock of the androids. I think that just makes the most sense. You can run double red with Cell, and that would be nice. And then we've got Shin at the end with the God Key variants. Just nice defensively, you know. A lot of people still use him surprisingly. I think he made the top 20 in terms of most used characters, which is quite absurd to me, but it shows that he's still valuable. Now, I like having this section when I finish off my tier list just to evaluate, because I feel like once you're building it, you place things and then you maybe don't consider it enough. But once you see the finished product, like when you guys are watching the video, it's much easier to critique. So I like to do that for myself. Looking at the blues, I feel like maybe things at the end you might want to swap around. I looked at other characters that I could replace, but to be honest, I think it's pretty solid. There's no 1% sparkings that I'm really seeing as valuable to swap. So I'm just locking in with these guys. The greens were so jam tight that there's nobody not in the green section that I'd put in. So these guys stay here. In terms of the purple, the only other person I really considered was the 1% Android 17. Outside of that, everybody else that's purple just wasn't cutting it in my eyes. In terms of the yellows, I also looked around, but I felt the same thing. Nobody really caught my eye. Maybe Glorio, but that's pushing it, man. I'm just saying stuff to say stuff. And then in terms of the red, again, same situation. Maybe Mai, I've seen some people gassing her, and Corrupted Zamasu. Where is he? Over here. Corrupted Zamasu potentially, but that's about it. Everybody else just isn't good enough to make the list in my opinion. So for the most part, it's down to how I ordered it. So let me know what you guys think about the tier list. I think it was all right. But yeah, man, that's the tier list. Like I said, let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What element was the best? What element was the worst? To be honest, I'm very happy with it. I haven't done a tier list in a while, but I feel like I caught up just off this one. I think I'm going to be playing PvP a bit more because I'm going to need the CCs. So, hey, I'm forced to. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.